The president set to meet face-to-face with China's President Xi Wednesday at the APEC summit in San Francisco, hoping to stabilize tensions amid this downward spiral in relations. Our Deirdre Bosa has more on the tech companies that might be most impacted in today's Tech Check. Hi, Dee.
Yeah, it's been almost exactly a year since the two presidents met, and this time around, technology may actually be the most likely place for the two sides to win some concessions and stabilize a relationship that has been fraught and increasingly tense over the last few years. So while investors won't be holding their breaths for any full resolutions, they might hope for some incremental progress that could create some losers and winners this week. Take the chip export ban. The Biden administration has been trying to cut off high-end chip sales to Chinese customers, the idea being protect U.S. IP and slow China's tech development. But as we've been reporting, companies in both countries have found workarounds and loopholes, setting up JVs, tweaking chip design, renting through the cloud. Those are just some of the ways that companies have been able to evade those controls. One example we told you about last week, one of China's buzziest Chinese generative AI startups openly admitted to stockpiling 18 months worth of NVIDIA's most advanced GPUs that are critical to this race. Now, if the Biden-Xi meeting signals some loosening of chip controls, semis could be the beneficiaries. On the flip side, additional limits could be a stumbling stone for the tech rebound of the last 2 weeks, of which semis have been leading. Watch NVIDIA in particular, which has the most to gain in the generative AI push happening in both countries. Apple's delicate place in the relationship, that's another area to watch, and it's really become a symbol of the difficulties that Western companies are facing operating in the Chinese markets and the escalation of those difficulties. Now, after the summit, President Xi Jinping will hold a banquet with U.S. executives, and that's in an effort to show that China's open for foreign businesses. We'll see if that is enough to encourage more American companies to look to China, maybe for the first time or again. Remember, we told you recently, too, that Meta has struck a deal with Tencent 14 years after it was blocked in China to sell VR headsets. And finally, guys, I just want to mention what's at stake for San Francisco, the city itself this week. It's a chance to rewrite the so-called doom loop narrative and promote the city's tech revival. And so leading up to this week, guys, the city has had a major makeover. It is about as clean and as safe as I've ever seen it in the last 7-8 years I've been here.